Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlwyn here. Say hello to everyone. Gnarlwyn. Good girl. No, we are not on Gnarlo today. The summer festival is going on. Hope that everyone's been having a good one. It goes on for about another 7 or 8 days, so plenty of time to get out there, get all the tokens that you should want, win some races, grind some quests, and see about getting all the cosmetics and yard items and everything else you should possibly want. The issue is that Gnarlo has already done pretty much all the quests before. And there's a couple of them that if you aren't a brand new character, you don't get that quest because it carries over and remembers it from year to year. So I'm actually pulling up one of my alts that I've been playing recently. This is Gnarlwyn. She is a, as you see, 21 level human minstrel. She is the one that I play. If you've watched my Minecraft videos and some of the other ones like the Terraria and Torchlight and stuff, y'all will remember Mind Fiend. And Mind Fiend, our friend, is playing LOTRO right now and having a decent time, he tells us. He tells us a wonderful time, but we'll go at least decent time. You know how those English love to understate and exaggerate things. Yes, that is a contradiction, but there you go. Think about it a little while and you'll realize that I'm insane. Anyway, he's playing, and this is the character, the alt that I started in order to level along with him. So as you see, we've gotten up to 21st level on Gnarlwyn, and he, I believe, has actually got up to level 24, 25. I think he dinged one of those two today. So, and to tell you the truth, most of it has been, the last 2 or 3 levels have been from grinding the festival quest here. It is simply amazing between that little blue part of the bar down there and the amount of experience that they actually give you now for completing these quests, just how quickly you can go up. My so-called main, my Glennorin, my dwarf guardian, also dinged level 70 today, and that would be half a level, half of level 69, just running all this quest stuff and getting the quest experience. As I've said before, I'm really starting to think about starting up a brand new character and just buying that blasted stone of the tortoise for them so that I can slow down the experience a little bit. Remember when it took 5-6 months just to reach level 35 and get my horse riding skill for the first time, and that was back when you couldn't ride a horse until you were level 35. So anyhow, we're on Gnarlwyn, so I can show you the beginnings of some of these. I know I've covered parts and bits and pieces of these things before, like I've shown you how the dances work and that sort of thing, but I've never actually made a summer festival episode. So we are going to end that drought now, and I'm going to show y'all how the little scavenger quests and everything around here work. We are also going to join the Ale Association. I have Glennorin, my dwarf, who is a member of the Inn League, so I believe that this character will become a member of the Ale Association, so I can get into both of them here eventually. Let's talk to Miss Foxglove here.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Too much festival. Oh, hello there. You look like a helpful sort. Perhaps you could help me with a small problem I've had. I've been enjoying the festival so much that I seem to have misplaced some of the things I came with. Could you find them for me? They're about to start the dance competition I must run. Sorry, dear, they just finished the dance competition. Here's a list of my missing items. So we need to find all of her missing items. And we can right-click on it here, and it'll tell you the little story as it goes along. Foxglove's list. Here's the list of items I seem to have lost with all this dancing and frivolity. Teapot. There's a lot of cooking going on around here. I was attracted by the smells the last time I remember having this. Well, that's easy enough to find, because right over here where all the ovens and everything are. And look at glowing right over there, will you? There is a teapot. So we are going to snatch that up. Excellent. Found the first item. And truthfully, I don't know, I am having a lot of video lag right now, so I think I am going to do a bit of a computer reset and find out why it is my frame rate here keeps dropping into the single digits. We'll be back in just a moment. Alright, we went out and shut down a couple of processes that were running in the background, and what do you know, they were for some reason hogging up one heck of a lot of my processor power. So where's the next thing on the list? Foxglove's parasol. I remember speaking to old Gaffer around the time I noticed this was missing. Well, if you know history and know the lore, you'll know who the old Gaffer is, and you'll know that he's right down here below the hill. The old Gaffer is Sam's father. You come right down here. He is on number 3 Bagshot Row, which is right down here below Bag Inn, and there's her parasol. Now, if you don't know the actual lore, and if you don't know the lore of the game, in particular, this can be a little bit difficult here. I know Mindfiend had a little bit of trouble with one of the quests where it talked about going over to Appledores. Well, if you've never played the game, you don't know where Appledores is, do you? I was comparing this bottle with a selection of summer wine out there, so we got to find Foxglove's wine. This one's easy. We have the big table of wine up here that is sitting there for the In League quest, where you have to do the pub crawl, and there's her bottle of wine. So we will grab that. Next up, her book. I needed a quiet place to read and watch the festivities. This one's not too hard either. Where would be a quiet place to read? That's going to be away from the festivities here a bit, and watch them. So it could be up there, could be over yonder, but actually it's right on top of this hill where you see the little sparklies coming up. So let's jump up there. There's the book. She has got one item left. 50 Shades of Off-White. Very interesting, Miss Foxglove. Very interesting. Foxglove's twine. Who would want an old ball of twine? Well, who indeed? In fact, we saw who might want that little ball of twine right up here, didn't we? The little sparklies coming from the ball of twine next to the cat. So let's grab her last one. We have found all 5 items. Let's run back over here, deliver them to her. There you are, ma'am.
Good day.
You found them. I knew you would. I told you that you look like a helpful person. Thank you so much. I will gladly repay you with a coin for the festival. Enjoy our summer games. There you go. See, 614 experience. Now, yes, I'm getting doubled down here, but still, that is just massively crazy. Alright, next up, Meliat Hayward. Mr.
Stay and
Hayward.
have some tea.
Hello, you there. Could you please pause a moment to help a hobbit in need? I came here today to enjoy the festival, but I've lost all the food I brought with me. Here, have this note. I've scribbled down everything I can remember about my day. Will you please help me find my missing meals? They shouldn't be far. I just don't know how I could have lost it all. I must have been thinking about other things, I suppose. I am awfully hungry. So we need to find his porridge and all the other items he has dropped. He has a list as well. Here's a list of all the picnic goods I misplaced while visiting the festival today. Bread. All I know is that I had my loaves of bread when I left Hobbiton this morning, but by the time I got to the foot of the hill, they were gone. Okay, there are 2 good clues there. One, you have to know where Hobbiton is, but we should know that. Everyone should know where Hobbiton is. Roughly, it's on the map. So if you don't know it for any other reason, you know that. Here's the hill where you have to pick it up, so let us go down to the foot of the hill toward Hobbiton, and it should be somewhere in that area. Now we've gone down to the foot of the hill about as far as we can go, and we've got something flashing on the bridge up there. And it is a basket full of bread. Oh, you're a she? Oops, sorry about that. For some reason, I thought you were a he sitting there. Eggs. I actually recall going into the Grange to rummage for my basket of bread. When I left, my eggs were gone as well. There's the first stickler. You know, if you don't know where you're headed, like Mindfiend had a little issue, doesn't know the Shire particularly in the game, you might not know what the Grange is. If you've never been over here, if you're a Hobbit, you might have grown up in these parts and done the quest and everything. See, until you actually get over here, you don't know where the Grange is. So there we go. And here are the eggs. Alright. Next up is the porridge. The cheese, sorry. Porridge is on the list over there, but cheese is on the actual list. I did finally make it to the Party Tree to see the festival, but it was the smell of apples that first caught my notice. The apple doors were so close, I figured I would sneak over for an apple or two before starting any festival games. Unfortunately, I was missing my basket of cheese when I left. Alright, so let's get back on up to the games. Back on up to the Party Tree, since they said they did reach the Party Tree finally in the festivities. And why can't I jump that fence? I have to have a talk with my horse. Let us head on up the hill to where the festival is. This is another difficult one because it says head over to the apple doors. Well, the apple doors sounds like a person's name. So, you know, you might think you'd try all the little hobbit holes and everything around here and then be curious. But no, the apple doors is actually this farm up here, this big apple farm. And this actually counts as one of the deeds. There's a deed called the Farms of the Shire, and the apple doors here is one of the farms that you have to find. Alright, and right down here is Meliat's basket of cheese. Next up, after the cheese, I was, of course, very hungry by mid-morning due to having lost most of my food. Opal Goodbody was kind enough to give me a bowl of porridge, but I didn't have a spoon. How can one eat porridge without a spoon? I heard that Lobelia made off with many beautiful spoons after the old Baggins went missing. She didn't give me one, and we had a bit of an argument. I don't remember seeing my poor porridge after that. Once again, not really giving you a good solid clue of where to go, but well, not telling you where to go, but giving you a good solid clue that she apparently argued with Miss Lobelia. And Lobelia, as you know, has moved into Bag End after Frodo sold it to her and left to go and deliver a certain package in a certain faraway land. So let's come on up here to Bag End. There's Lobelia and Lotho having an argument. And if it isn't a bowl of porridge. So we'll pick up that. And finally, the last one of the items. Mushrooms. I wanted to clear my mind after my argument with Lobelia, so I wandered across the road east of Bag End to find a nice picnic spot where I could eat my mushrooms in peace. There was a pretty little pond just off the road a little north of the Party Tree, and a willow for shade and a rock where I could sit. But as I settled down, I realized the woods were wild. I thought I even saw a bear. I got out of there fast, but I must have left my mushrooms behind. I'm very hungry. Please help me. So, cross the road from Bag End. Here's the road to the east of Bag End, right over here. And we are looking for a little pond and a rock by a willow tree. So that gives us a fairly clear directions as well. You can see a willow standing right there. I bet as we get closer, we'll find there's a pond and a rock down below it. Yep, and there's even a bear wandering around. How much more accurate could you be? We're going to grab her mushrooms, and then it's back over to Meliat, or Melilo, or however she pronounces her name, Miss Hayward, and we will bring all her items back to her. Yeah, you're noticing that the quests here aren't hard at all, especially once you know where the items are. These are all daily quests, by the way. You can do each and every one of these basically scavenger hunts every single day and get one festival token for each scavenger hunt. Oh joy, you are a real hero, Gnarlwyn. There should be songs written about you. Perhaps I will try to make a song myself right after I sit down and finally get to enjoy my picnic, and of course after I've had my nap. So there you are, another festival token, another 614 experience. So by the time we're through, we're going to fill up this bar here very, very quickly. Now, Baldo Mudfoot, do you have a quest,
Stay
Baldo?
and have some tea.
Alright, he's the one that sends you to the horse fields to do the horse racing quest. And he doesn't give you any festival tokens. You do get a little experience, and you get 2 silver and 20. Horse races, no thank you, not for me, and I would think anyone odd for wishing to try anything so dangerous. You can imagine my vexation when a racetrack was built here in our very own shire. Be that as it may, if you wish to get yourself a seasonal pony or a horse, you may speak with Carl Proudfoot down south in the Delving Fields near Michael Delving. There's one racetrack, the other's in the horse fields of Bree, and Sally Threshing is the racemaster there. You may go if you wish, but do not come limping back to me for sympathy if you're thrown from your beast and injured. I say the safest way is to stay away. So he's the one that gives you the quest to go and see the 2 horse race people and find out where those are. And come over here to Ned Longbottom. You'll notice the lights changed and stuff like that. It is becoming daylight. It is dawn. We'll see the sun rising soon. Ned Longbottom. He gives you the directions and the quests that take you to the next 3 parts. To the fishing hole.
Stay and have some tea.
Have you been to Bywater yet this year? The fishing event is underway there, and I hear it is quite relaxing and enjoyable for the many anglers who descend upon the town at this time of year. If you have an interest in such things, you should speak with Nettie Grubb. I've seen some folks showing off their fine rewards for their luck at the pond. Bywater is here in the Shire, 1 town east from Hobbiton. You can find Nettie Grubb and his lovely pond there. Says you will need to train fishing in order to participate in this quest. A fishing hobby trainer stands in Bywater right next to Nettie Grubb. So don't worry, and this character doesn't have fishing yet either. The fishing trainer is right next to the person that you're going to for this quest. So you can instantly pick up fishing and then buy a fishing rod off of her as well. Alright, the others to the keg races. Thorin's Hall boasts quite the spectacle this summer. I hear that dwarves will be racing about from keg to keg, drinking the entire time. That should be entertaining, do you not think? If you wish to see for yourself, you should head to the stable master at Thorin's Hall and take a horse to the keg race event while the summer festival is underway. So he sends you there, and then he also sends you to a taste of Hobbiton. Have you seen the taste of Hobbiton yet? I say, it might be
a moment of your time?
just the oddest thing that I have ever laid eyes on. It is certainly worth
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
It is certainly worth a visit if you've not made your way to the Shire yet. Boy, I'm getting some lag. It took a little while there for both of his welcome sentences, didn't it? If you need directions, just find your way to the stable in Michael Delving. A horse there will take you to where you need to go while the festival is in town. Alright, so we have those 2 as well. Now, are there anything else to do here? The only other thing to do in here right now is the dance festival, or the festival dance contest, which we have right over there. And we have done that before. I will put a list of the episodes here. Glennoran, my dwarf, actually did those, I believe, in a previous episode back in the 40s or 50s. But I'll leave a list right here of which episodes we covered the dances, so we're not going to do those again. So at this point, that is it, except for the in-league quest. And I am actually going, not the in-league, the in-league and the L Association quests, indeed. So I'm going to leave those for later on. That will be an episode all in of itself. So instead, we are going to head over to Michael Delving, and we will take a look at the Taste of Hobbiton. So we'll see you when we get over there. We have reached the stable master in Michael Delving, and as you see, they have a festival horse right next door. All you had to do is click on the right-click on the festival horse, and it's going to take you directly to the area that a Taste of Hobbiton occurs in. There's one of these also over at Thorin's Hall, or Thorin's Gate, that you'll see, that takes you directly to where the keg races take place. Alright, and as you see, this is an area prone to dynamic layers. And there you go. Here's the situation. The area that they have it is an enclosed instance. There's no way out of this. You can't get out of any of these little hills here. This is the Hobbiton race, the Hobbit race that they used to have on top of the hill. They used to have all these tables with the food laid out all around the top of the hill, and you went up to the top of it and you carried out the race that you're going to see there. However, it was getting to the point where it was getting pretty laggy and having issues with too many people being up there and everything, so they moved it into an instance where they can better handle the instancing of the different dynamic layers, as they call it. So let's talk to Daughter Twofoot, get the credit for having done to the Taste of Hobbiton.
How do you do?
Hello, are you here to try your hand at picking the fastest contestant? And he's going to give you a jug of midday cider. It says a strong cider best served hot. And 614 experience points. So let's go ahead. I usually don't sell back these ciders and drinks and all they give us. I usually just go ahead and drink them, because I do believe there are a number, I know for a fact there are a couple of deeds and titles that you can get from drinking all the drinks in the various parts of the Shire, for instance. So I always like to drink at least one of these when I get them, so that I can get credit for having drank that, just in case there's a hidden deed or one that I'm not aware of. But you see, you feel a bit lightheaded. 5 minutes of feeling a little bit lightheaded. And when this quest is over, you have a horse right over here that you can get back to Michael Delving. We'll click on it and take you right back. But we're going to stand here and wait for the little ring to appear above the race master, and then we'll choose which one of the 4 hobbits that we want to bet on for the race. So we will see you as soon as the race gets started here. Bando Brandybuck has announced, welcome to the Taste of Hobbiton. The race shall begin in 3 minutes, and the 4 contestants have appeared. It's always the same 4. Let's see, a Taste of Hobbiton.
Might I have a word with you?
Good day to you, Gnarlwyn. Here for the festival, are you? Well, as you may know, our main event is the Taste of Hobbiton. It's a combination race and eating contest. In the end, only one hobbit will have the endurance and pluck needed to roll across the finish line first. Pick a likely-looking contestant, and let's see if you've got an eye to spot the winner. Now, we are going to pick Gladdy. That will be our pick, so let's tell her there's the 4. There's the Mudrick's Momentum, Gladdy's Gate, Bustle with Birdie, and Dashing Daffodilly. We are going to pick Gladdy.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Good day to you, my good woman. Are you here to watch the Taste of Hobbiton? It's a tremendously exciting event we hold here every summer. Food is brought from all over the Shire, and our 4 speedy contestants must compete to see how quickly they can sample each bit of victuals. Here's a bit of inside information if you're wanting it. Gladdy Chubb-Baggins is actually my favorite this year. Her mother told me in confidence that Gladdy never stops eating for more than a few minutes at a time, that her appetite is fathomless. Yet she is sprightly as spring and springtime, wouldn't you say? Yes, I'm fully convinced that she is a sure thing. Would you like to place your faith on her winning the event? I'm sure there will be great prize in it for you if you guess rightly. So we have put our bet on Gladdy Chubb-Baggins. Each one of these 4 has a flavor text on it, just like the one that you just saw, about how they are the favorite to win. So it really doesn't mind which one that you pick, because they all 4 have an equal opportunity. It's up to the random number generator as far as we are aware. There is a difference in it this time. Before you had to have festival festival tickets. You could run this race like twice a day. You had to talk to the guy to get a festival ticket and run the race. Now you can run it as many times a day as you want. They hold it every hour, I believe it is. I think there's you can run it every hour. There's a 1 hour cooldown between you running it, whether you win or lose. The race itself, however, is held about every 10 or 15 minutes. Gladdy is not making us proud here. There goes Daffy and Buddy and Birdie and Prancer and Dancer and Vixen. And I got a feeling that Gladdy maybe should not have been eating every minute of the day, as her mother says. It seems to have slowed her down a bit. As we are definitely hanging out in 4th place here. Come on, girl, run! Run! Oh dear. Well, at least everybody else seems to have slowed down a little. Sure, we'll start running right about the front of this wagon. The wagon stokes here ourselves. Come on, come on, come on. You need to move, girl. At least come in place, third place. At least outrun Mudrick. Oh dear. My luck is holding out, and I am going to end up in fourth place, I am sure. Because we are not going to beat whoever's at that last table up there. There's two of them there. Yep, there they go. She is crossing the line. It looks like Daffodil, maybe? Yep, there she goes. Alright, so at this point, in the past, you didn't get anything if you lost, but here, you actually do. They have a consolation present. You come up, you right-click on it, and you get 1 to 2 Summer Festival tokens. You usually get 1, but there is a slight chance that you'll pick 2 of them up. If you pick the actual Hobbit that wins, you get a total of 6 tokens. So, and as you see, yes, 59 minutes. So win or lose, you can run this race again every 59 minutes. Or, of course, you can spend a mithril coin and go ahead and do it right now. We are not going to do that. So, we are next going to take the horse back to Michael Delving. Then once we get to Michael Delving, we are going to take the regular stable master over to Thorin's Gate and hop over there, and when we arrive at Thorin's Gate, there'll be a festival horse waiting for us as well. And we have received yet another deed, because this is our first time over at Thorin's Gate, and we've got the Places of the Dwarves deed that you get from exploring all the little areas in the dwarf starting zone here. But let us get the stable master here first.
Well met.
There we go. And next up, we are going to take the festival horse right here to the keg race. Same as over at Michael Delving, you just right click on the horse and it will give you a swift teleport over to where the cave where the races used to be held. Now, just like the Hobbit races over there, these used to be out in the real world as well. These used to be, and it looks like the race is already going on because there's the contestants. These used to be on the front steps of Thorin's Hall back there. They would all be standing there. There was a number of kegs scattered all over the long front steps and across the snowy field in front of Thorin's Hall. And they moved it in here for the same reason, because it aids in making sure that they can control the dynamic layers and keep them from being quite as laggy with all the people about. Alright, same kind of thing. You've got the race master, you got the race trader here, which we will go ahead and talk to get to the keg races complete and get our Summer Perry's Porter. What is this one? Consolation prize. Alright, so we got the Perry's Porter, and I'm going to go ahead and drink that. And we will addle our wits as well. Ooh, this looks a little stronger. As you see, we're getting a little blurry and we're mumbling to ourselves. Wow. You've muddled your wits. So we got about 5 minutes of being a little muddled here. Let's go ahead and talk to Scali.
By Durin's beard, won't you give me even a moment?
He's got a quest for us. I'm so angry I could shout. The dwarf kicks vigorously at a nearby wagon. I keep playing the races. Every time I select the dwarf I think should win, and every time, without fail, that dwarf loses. What sort of terrible idea for a festival was this? I hate festivals! To make matters worse, every time I lose, I fly into a blind rage and seem to throw something off into the distance. While it feels wonderful, I often realize that the item I flung was my own. Will you please help me find my missing goods? Here's a brief detail of how I spent my day thus far. Okay. So, let's look at his list. Here's the list of things I lost when in my blind rage. Mining pick. I first favored Colmar. I followed him closely around the track, and then he just stood there, slow as a snail, while everyone else tore ahead. He came in dead last. I may have left my pick at that spot. Arg, my blood boils just remembering it. So the big thing is just follow around. We're looking for little sparklies, and I've seen a couple so far. But, right here, perhaps? Yes, I think that is a mining pick. There's a mining pick. It is stuck in the barrel where he hurled it. Alright, let's see where his next one is. Next, I thought Otto looked to be in fine form. I stood at the finish line, cheering and cheering, waiting, but Otto never came. I thought I had my shield with me then. Alright, so we know that we are close to the finish line was where he lost his shield. So we will head back over there a second. Ooh, Lord, are we drunk. I wasn't expecting 2 beers. One from the Hobbiton and the one from over here to put me in this kind of a state. Let's see, there we go. There's his shield right here. Apparently Perry's Porter is some powerful stuff. Spear. Since Otto had performed so atrociously, I figured he would have plenty of stamina for another round. I chose him once more, and I followed the racers along their path. He was winning, and then he lost. I remember standing on a platform and gazing into water livid, and that was the last time I saw my spear. Okay, well, let's follow along the course of the race here. He was standing on a platform staring into a pond when he flung his spear. And there it is. A little difficult to click on. Make sure I got my... Yep, I do have my light on. A little bit difficult to click on whenever you're seeing double like we are. Okay, which one is next? Next up is the Lucky Jewel. That's the mug. Signar seemed like a good candidate, so I followed him, and indeed he did very well until he got 3/4 of the way around the track. At that point, I went for a swim to cool my rage and tried to drink when I was done, until I realized that my poor ale had leaked out into the water, nowhere to be found. Okay, we're looking for water again. It wasn't here, because that's where the spear is. So let's follow on around about 3/4 of the way around the track. And right over here, there's a large pond of water a short distance away. However, his mug is way back over here. That must have been quite a spill if it had leaked out into the water. Okay. Finally, his lucky jewel. Finally, I chose Lar. He'd won nearly every time that my champions lost. I knew he would come through for me when all else had failed. I don't need to tell you how that went. I walked to the bridge with my lucky jewel in hand and contemplated casting it off into the deeps. I was so sad that I do not remember what happened next. I hope I did not toss it off. So we need to see which bridge he dropped it off of. This way. Okay. So the guy lost at the finish line. He walked over to the bridge, and we should see one last sparkly here. Yep, there it is. There's our last sparkly. There's his lucky jewel. Let's gather that up for him. Now, we can bring everything back to Scali and hand them in.
What's the meaning of this?
My thing, spear, shield, mug, everything. Thank you, Gnarlwyn. Now I can get back to my sulking without needing to worry about my missing goods. There, so he's going to continue sulking. Whew, and the beer finally wore off. Let's talk to Arnor now, the race master. The keg hopping race.
Come and stay a moment, friend.
Here for the festival, are you? Well, as you may know, our main event is the keg hopping race. This festival shall pit 4 drunken sots, that is to say, fine and upstanding dwarves, in a fight to the finish. The finish line, that is. We don't let these fellows anywhere near axes or other sharp implements until they've had a chance to sleep it off. Pick a likely-looking contestant, and let's see if you've got an eye to spot the winner. I've always liked Otto, so I think I'm going to pick him. We've got Signar's swift step, Legate Lar, Colmar's credulity, or Otto the outstanding.
Welcome. You have come at a most fortuitous time.
Well, Gnarlwyn, good day to you. It is often said there's nothing better than fine summer weather, though it is a little balmy for my taste this time of year. I'm sweltering where I stand. These lazy summer days can drag on, which is why we look forward to the festival events. This year, inhabitants of Thorin's Hall are racing to finish the keg hopping race as quickly as possible. Who do you think will win? If you want to know a little secret, Otto is undoubtedly the strongest candidate. I do not think I've ever seen him without a mug in his hand. Just between you and me, he is as stout a dwarf as ever there was. So there we go. We will choose Otto to win the race. And as I said, each one of these is just like over at the Taste of Hobbiton. We got 1 minute until the race begins. Each one of these is just like the hobbits over at the Taste of Hobbiton. Each one that you pick has a different little story in the text there, in the flavor text, about why the race master thinks they're the one that's going to win the race. So they're worth reading through, especially the first time that you read. Read the little stuff to go through and find out what each one's various problem is, whether it's gluttony or alcoholism. So once the race starts here, we shall see where we go and how good old Otto is. Or are we going to start hurling our items off into the darkness as well? And on your mark, get set. Apparently, go. Alright, here we go again. Oh ho, I don't know if I can go on. Yes, and we are in last place yet again. Thank you, Otto. Now, one thing that you used to do back whenever it was in the real world as well, you could target them and then you could follow on them. You know, where you type /follow and you didn't have to manually follow. But they have fixed that now. Apparently you can no longer, at least in the races, you can't click on the NPCs. I haven't tried to do it out in the real world again, to see whether you can still click on them and attach your character to them and have them follow you around. One time that was a, shall we say, an exploit to keep you from going AFK and logging out of the game. Was that if you hooked yourself to one of the watchers that wandered around Bree and put yourself on follow, he would drag you around the town and your character would never go AFK and considered to be just standing there. I think we've got 2 barrels left to go perhaps. Come on, Otto, run, 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 run. No, you don't need a breather. You can have a breather at the finish line. Oh, lazy, lazy, lazy. Come on, this is the last one. You need to go. Come on, come on, come on. You don't need a breather. You're so close. And you've lost. Alright. Once again, our consolation prize. And our summer festival token. There you go. So in here, there's a little bit more to do because you've got the scavenger hunt and the race. Whereas over at the Taste of Hobbiton, you've got just the race. And you can do these each hour. So we shall be back over and work on some more points for Miss Gnarlwyn here. But in the meantime, we are going to come back outside. And we are going to head up to Thorin's Hall once more to show you the scavenger race and where everything takes place inside of Thorin's Hall. Right here is where, as I said, before they moved them into an indoor location, this is where the dwarf race would take place. The kegs would be lined up and down these steps, and they would also be out in the fields, and you can still see the stomped areas where they used to have the keg. There was a keg table right there. You see the pattern in the snow where they had the dwarves running around, and here as well. See, here's where one of the keg tables used to be, and over here's where one of the keg tables used to be. Right there. And there used to be one right here. So as you see, there are some remnants, there are some memories of whenever the race used to be out here. But I suppose there are advantages to having him inside now. I suppose. Okay, back up the hill. Now, you can either go through Thorin's Hall and go downstairs into the inn that way, or you can take the shortcut through the festival door over here. you're going to come into the big arena where the contest is held. Oh, what is it? The Dwarven Beer Smash, the Dwarven Ale Smash. Whenever they have that contest and you're trying to knock each other out of the arena down there with mallets. And then you come over here. Let me see which one it is. Freverin's Court. There's the one right behind you. This will take you to the inn. Both of these will take you back outside to that door you just came in. So let's go on into the inn. And here we are. Much more of a shortcut. You got 2 loading screens, but as long as your computer loads things in a fairly quick time, and mine does when I'm not recording, that's what slows it down, it is still quicker than coming in the front door and running all the way across Thorin's Hall and down here into the mines to get to the inn. So down here you've got the same kind of stuff. You've got the dance leader, the provisioner, all the other items, but the guy that we are looking for, I believe, is Ambi over here, perhaps?
Greetings, traveler.
Yes.
Will you stay a moment?
Forgotten errands. Hey, you there, you woman, you. I need to speak with you. This is important. My father tasked me with delivering a package of goods, I think. I need that package and all its things badly, or I will be in serious trouble, and that is no good for anyone. Can you help me, please? I would be very thankful. Here's a list of the items to help you. Unfortunately, after all my celebrating, I can't remember where I left them. So that's the scavenger hunt down here. Now, if you see over here, you got the 2 Ale Association people. They have rings over their heads here. So this is where you can actually start running the Ale Association. And we will bring Gnarlo over here and have him join the Ale Association, since Glennoran is already a member, fine, outstanding member of the Inn League. Yes, I've got Hobbit doing the dwarf drinking and the dwarf doing the Hobbit drinking. Don't ask me. Now, we will come back out into the mine and let us find his items. Same as before, we've got a list. Ambi's red jar. I think I may have been listening to someone hawking his wares. Now these are a little bit more obtuse. They're a little bit more skimpy as far as a clue goes. It's a little more obtuse. You have to think about it a little more. They're not actually telling you, oh, well, it's over here. Just run across the road east from Lobelia's, and it's underneath a tree, underneath a willow tree next to a bear. This one you have to say, someone hawking his wares. Well, who would be hawking the wares? It could be any of the merchants, and Lord knows there are a bazillion merchants inside this great city. But where it actually is over here at the auctioneer. So you have to come back up here toward where the front gate is, right there, and come over here to the Thorin's Gate auction house. And right over here, you'll see the red jar. Next to the auctioneer hawking his wares. Next up, we have his green jar. The sound of coins is so sweet. Where might coins be? Well, coins would be at the vault, would it not? And the vault is straight across from the auction hall. Let us head on over here and see if we can find his red jar laying about anywhere. And a nice little touch. I do like the fact that the burglar trainer is hanging out here right outside of the vault. Well done, guys. Well done. Okay. Here's his green jar, right next to the sound of money. His blue bottle. I listened to a wonderful performance recently. Okay. This is another one that you just really had to kind of wander around for a while and find, because there's no real clear indication of where a wonderful performance would be. But once you did, and you investigated all the little nooks and crannies and everything else that Thorin's Hall had to give, you might notice that right up there to your upper right, you can see a couple people dancing. And right there's the bottle, right next to the little band playing and the people dancing. Okay, next up, I watched 2 dwarves mining coal. Okay, well, we know where the mine is because we were just down there getting this quest in the inn, in the tavern, Thorns Hall Tavern. So we need to go down. There are two entrances. You saw the one that we came up. The other one is a little bit hidden, but it's over here behind these buildings. You cannot ride a horse down here. For some reason this is considered indoor, whereas the rest of the town is considered outdoor. So here's the notes, just down this side. Alright, we've got one more item to find. That's Ambi's pack. Do you like fishing? I love it. Indeed he does. So it's back over to where the fishing part of this quest is. I'm going to go back up the stairs from the mines. We are going to cross the hall to the other side. We are going to pass by the stairs which go back down into the mines and back down to the tavern right there. We are going to come around the corner, past the quartermaster who is part of the fishing quests, the one of the 4 fishing quest people for this part of the festival. Come on up the stairs. We're going to cross the bridge where the 2 dwarves are sitting there fishing in the river down below. And there's his pack. Way over here. Not the easiest one of all the different items to find there. Remember, I did a lot of searching around in all the little nooks and crannies and ledges and every possible place I could think to get to up here before I finally found it. In fact, I think whenever this quest first went in, it was way on down there next to the dwarf you see on the end down there, the one that's being scared by bats. So now it's back down into the mines, back to the tavern, and we will give Ambi his items back and see how grateful he is. Coming into the bar once more, Ambi is at his table, still recovering from his celebrating. We'll hand him his stuff back. Brilliant, you did it, woman. Thank you so much. Now I won't be in trouble with my father. One more drink and I will be on my way. Oh, here is your reward as well. So another festival token. Okay. So now to get out of here, the dance leader is about to go, but as I said, I'll put up a link, or put up actually the name of the episode the dances are in, just in case anyone wants to see them. We've done them before. They are part of almost every single festival. Now once you get out, remember the back one takes you back to the inn. So you actually want to take either of the side doors, which are going to take you back out to Freren's Court, which is right down there. Alright. So I think that is probably an episode's worth right there. Next time, we've covered all the scavenger races at Hobbiton. We've covered all of them here at the Thorns Hall. The next episode, I'll show you the area over at the Elf. I think it's Dualond and Celendem. It's split among 2 places over there. Fishing is at one. All the scavenger hunts and dances is at the other little town. And then we will head over to Bree and do that one as well. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And I appreciate you being kind to poor Gnarlwyn here. She's a little bit of an attention hound, if you know what I mean. So thanks for watching, and y'all have a good weekend. Bye-bye.